breathtaking atmosphere inside this little stadium. It is called the Olympic Stadium, but it's not ready to host the Olympics anytime soon. Here is the San Marino team. 4 changes from their defeat in Montenegro in November. Most notably, the country's all-time top scorer, Andy Selva, returns up front at the age of 36. 8 goals in 56 caps for him. He and fullback Mirko Palazzi are the only professional footballers in the San Marino squad. We're expecting them to play a flat back 5. Our referee is the 34-year-old Swiss, Alain Bieri. A bit more detail on that England team that we briefly saw before the anthems. There's no Theo Walcott. He's going to be out for both matches with a groin injury. Walcott will go back to Arsenal tomorrow. It means England make 6 changes from their last competitive game in Poland. That was in November, with a start for 19-year-old Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, whose one international goal came against San Marino at Wembley in October. Wayne Rooney wins his 80th cap, while Lampard takes the captain's arm back. Very pleasant conditions here in Serravalle. There's Roy Hodgson, who says San Marino are a bona fide team in a bona fide competition. And it's important that England respect the opposition here. Gianpaolo Mazza, who is a PE teacher by day, doesn't get quite Roy Hodgson's salary for managing San Marino. Joe Hart keeping his place in goal. Some suggestion that Roy Hodgson might be tempted to bring in Ben Foster or Fraser Forster for this game. Well, looking at the 3 previous meetings between these countries, a pass score would probably be around a 6-0 England win. Montenegro achieved that scoreline here in September, although it's worth bearing in mind they only managed 3-0 in the home game. San Marino, a country that have never won a competitive international, and they've lost their last 50-5-0 games in a row, scoring just 7 goals in that time. Worth mentioning that England's biggest World Cup qualifying wins remain their 2 9-0 victories against Luxembourg, away in 1960 and at home in 1982. England already doing better than they did on their one previous away game, San Marino, and they were a goal down inside 9 seconds. Still the fastest goal in World Cup history, scored by David Galtieri. Roy Hodgson there says that plenty of teams have struggled against San Marino over the years. He says it's not an easy game, but frankly it's about as easy as they come at this level. Looking at the FIFA World Rankings, England currently 4th, San Marino joint bottom, 207th in the world. Joint bottom with Bhutan and the Caicos Islands. Forward by Jodian Lescott, picked up by Cleverly, now Lampard. Rooney, just looking to slide that through for Oxlade-Chamberlain. One back by Lampard, who had a good weekend last weekend, scoring his 200th goal for Chelsea against his old club West Ham. Cleverly to Lescott. Leighton Baines, who's had such a wonderful season in the Premier League with Everton. Simoncini is the goalkeeper for San Marino. His twin brother David is in defence. San Marino with a population of only 32,000. Here's Jermaine Defoe. He's going to roll that back for Lampard. The referee has a look and says corner. San Marino, number 8, Fabio Bollini. Ashley Young on set-piece duty for England. Lampard is on the end of it. I think the referee saw some pushing. Lampard's next goal for England, by the way, would be his 28th. That would move him above David Platt and into the top 10 of England goal scorers. No Gary Neville alongside Roy Hodgson. He's in Moldova, keeping an eye on Montenegro. Kicked off a little earlier. He made it here in Saravala. Ashley Young. Away by Sevellini. Now Lescott. England had 86% of the possession when the sides met at Wembley. Expect something similar here. Baines with the cross. Header away by David Simoncini. Kyle Walker at right back. Have to say, didn't have his best game when the sides met at Wembley. No offside here against Rooney. The challenge comes in from Della Valle. Della Valle asking the question of his goalkeeper, who stayed on his line. The result of all that is another England corner. Just took his time there, Rooney, allowed the challenge to come in. Short corner this time from Ashley Young. San Marino refused to be caught out. And the ball in towards Lescott. Just one goal for his country, Lescott, at the age of 30. Certainly not a regular this season at Manchester City. Same goes for plenty of these England players, actually. Team, I think, that plays in Podgorica. It won't be for the faint-hearted on Tuesday. Foul there by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Just a nudge in the back. Palazzi. San Marino not interested in making too much of the free kick. Forward by Smalling. Here's Walker. Lampard. Everyone behind the ball, as you'd expect for the San Marino side. Look at all those England flags on the far side. The referee's assistant had a good look at that and decided it was a foul on Walker here. Took his time before raising his flag against Mirko Palazzi, who plays in the Italian 4th division with Rimini. Andy Selva also plays in the Italian 4th division. Oxlade-Chamberlain now, Lampard! Out came Aldo Simoncini. Lampard just apologises to those in the middle who were hoping for a cross here. San Marino totally called out by that low free kick into the box. Not great defending by Palazzi, to put it mildly. Third England corner. That'll be a 4th England corner. High one from Ashley Young. Comes off David Fiorancini. Doesn't have too much to celebrate as San Marino coach Gianpaolo Merza. Lost 75 of his 78 games in charge. Leighton Baines with the latest corner in swing out. It's a decent punch by the goalkeeper. Young. Needless to say, England absolutely love a goal inside the opening 10 minutes, and they're going about it the right way. That was decent goalkeeping. That one was easy. 6 corners for England inside the first 9 minutes. Headed by Walker. And by Lescott. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Good in possession with Dioli. Walker with the back pass. Joe Hart, who talked before the game about his fear of conceding against San Marino. Doesn't look too likely on what we've seen in the opening 9 minutes here. Scott going long, up towards Rooney, and off the crossbar. A let-off. Oxlade-Chamberlain breaking forward, finding himself in a terrific position. Although Simoncini beaten here, lovely header down by Rooney. Really good volley from the 19-year-old Arsenal winger. Deserved a goal. England denied by the frame of the goal. Baines. Cleverly looking for Oxlade-Chamberlain. It's just an army of blue shirts in England's way. Chris Smalling. Hit season for him, Manchester United. Lucas Smalling and Lescott, just 14 Premier League starts this season between them for the 2 Manchester clubs. Offside against Defoe here. Striker out of form, no goal since Boxing Day. Clearly offside. Last goal was for Spurs against Villa over Christmas. Ball from the back to Leighton Baines, looking for Rooney. Oh dear, it comes off Della Valle. An own goal by Alessandro Della Valle to give England the lead inside 12 minutes. Super pass from the back here. Leighton Baines was onto it in a flash, beating the offside trap. Rooney was about to tap it home. Della Valle got there first to beat his own goalkeeper. First time cross was the key. Della Valle, whose day job is a bank clerk, putting the ball straight past his own goalkeeper Aldo Simoncini. That's a nerve settler for England, if there were any nerves. Walker. It's a foul on Delancey. Only once, by the way, has San Marino ever managed to avoid defeat in a competitive match at home. Here at the Setanta Stadium, it was in a goalless draw with Turkey in 1993. A very rare clean sheet as well. San Marino, they don't get too many of those. Baines. Was the target. Oh, the goalkeeper, he handled that outside the penalty area. Rooney's convinced he did. It wasn't great handling from Simoncini. The referee's assistant on the near side was very well placed to see that. My first instinct was that his feet were in the area, but possibly his hands were outside. Have a look. Well, when he grabbed that ball, I think his hands were outside the area. Very quickly drew them back in. Lampard. Rooney looking for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Swept away by the luckless Della Valle. Quarter of an hour played. 7th England corner. Well, a clear header over the crossbar. Defoe found himself unmarked inside the 6-yard area here. Guided down by Lampard, and Defoe, well, he should have hit the target there. Well, Hodgson thinks so. Offside flag goes up against Andy Selva. Goal, last of his 8 goals for his country, was October 2008 here against Slovakia. Record goal scorer for San Marino he may be, but it's been a while. A San Marino player that scored first 20 years ago. Unfortunately for Della Valle, this one was in his own net, unlike David Baltieri so famously back in '93. It's a computer shot now. He's often asked about it. Quite happy to talk about it to anyone that'll listen. Walker's throw. Square ball from Smalling to Lescott. Lampard, who of course plays much deeper now for Chelsea. And, certainly operating deeper here most of the time. Danes breaking forward. He kept that in as well, quite brilliantly. He may well be disappointed that none of his colleagues were able to turn that cross home. Well, they don't have a lot to cheer, the San Marino supporters. It's usually just a question of how many the opposition score. Oxlade-Chamberlain looking for Jermaine Defoe, onside this time. Cleverly. Lampard takes it on. Oxlade-Chamberlain, narrow here, Cleverly. Rooney, Lampard, on a reverse ball, hoping to pick out Kyle Walker. Not a blue shirt in your picture as the ball's played forward. Vitaioli dispossessed. Cleverly, Oxlade-Chamberlain. His side is Wayne Rooney. Oh, a lovely ball in. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Straight into the floor. Headed behind by Vitaioli. Didn't quite catch that as he wanted. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. The corners into a pretty good area, but Lampard not able to get his header on target. Lampard, by the way, is just a hat-trick away from 30 England goals, level with 3 of the great names, Alan Shearer, Nat Lofthouse and Tom Finney. Feels like every week Frank Lampard is chasing another major career milestone. Captaining England here, still his future with Chelsea very much up in the air. Excellent running off the ball by Rooney, but they watched him closely. Leighton Baines was caught there by Della Valle. Hapless challenge. Set pieces come off for England. Free kick this time. Baines himself takes it. Doesn't get past the first defender. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Cleverly to Baines. Rooney. A little give and go. Yet another corner. The ball comes off Enrico Sibeli. Short corner this time, England really mixing it up in this first half. Ashley Young getting another one. We're into double figures in corners now. They could be in here. Lampard looking to get on the end of that cross. It's just a mass of blue shirts every time. England to get the ball into the penalty area. All the hullabaloo in the English media about the lack of defenders available for England. Certainly not of any relevance here. Midway through an embarrassingly one-sided first half thus far. Just the one goal, separates the two sides. It's certainly not a reflection of what we've seen so far. Baines. Little touch and cleverly was delightful. He's got it back again. Baines has continued his run. They're struggling to get it away. Hesitant defending from Alex Gasparoni. It's just an encampment in the final third. Rooney. Score of 2 goals against San Marino in the 5-0 at Wembley. Danny Welbeck also on target twice in that one. Lampard. It's his type of range. Instead it's Ashley Young. There's another deflection which will result in yet another corner. As to San Marino, they're certainly getting in plenty of brave blocks in this sort of area. I think they take a 3 or 4-0 defeat right now. Lampard in this corner. I'd be very surprised if San Marino have put more than 2 consecutive passes together so far. Paolo Mazza there, in charge of his San Marino team for over 15 years now. Just the one win. San Marino's only ever win. It came in a friendly in 2004 against Liechtenstein. Silva found himself in a decent position there, but not for long. A rare touch for Joe Hart. Chamberlain, like a foul to me by Bollini. Baines. Well played by Defoe, now Lampard, Rooney, for Kyle Walker. Helped there by the pass, which was overhit by Rooney. Roy Hodgson there will be disappointed that it's only 1-0 at this stage. Say, it hasn't exactly been raining in shots. Paolo Simoncini's goal. The line of 5 defenders, 4 midfielders in front of them. Very difficult for England to break it down. And a 12th corner here. Outswinger from Baines this time. Rooney misses it. Swept clear by Silva. Escott. Ashley Young to Baines. Terrific support. 3,600 England fans here, plenty more watching from vantage points outside the stadium. Certainly like a home game from England's perspective. Walker. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Rooney, back to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Brilliant. They found a way through in style. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with his second goal for his country. Both of them have come against San Marino. This was delightful. Little trick there. Rooney goes for the return, and it's a really good finish as well. Past Simoncini. Second goal that England thoroughly merits. Stylish. San Marino defenders had no answer to skill like that. Smalling. Selva. There's an awful lot of service as the one striker for San Marino. Cleverly. Very nearly finding his Manchester United colleague, Ashley Young. Who's yet to score this season. His last goal was actually last May for England, the winner in Norway. Walker. Lampard. Cleverly now. Rooney. Nice leave is Walker. Past the half-hour mark. Lampard, little back heel. Led by Vitaioli. Cleverly. Little touch from Oxlade-Chamberlain to Frank Lampard. Cleverly. The angle of the pass out to Baines. Rooney. Lampard. Oxlade-Chamberlain for Walker. Very nicely played. He gets to the byline. And it's behind by Gasparoni at the expense of a 13th England corner. Swiss referee unhappy about the wrestling in the penalty area. Later Baines to take. Really mixed it up the corners in this first half. What's it going to fall to here? Well, Oxlade-Chamberlain left it. Young. Away by Sevellini. Certainly don't keep the ball for long when they win it back. The home side. Foul by Selva on Lampard.
Guardato soltanto il giocatore.
Two captains. Steven Gerrard did say yesterday he'd be very disappointed if he wasn't playing in this game. But Roy Hodgson's decided to keep him to one side with the test in Podgorica to come on Tuesday. Oxlade-Chamberlain, good balance. He's got the cross in as well. Lampard couldn't take it in his stride. Ashley Young, and it's been tucked home by Defoe, but the flag is raised and it won't count. I don't know if it was the initial ball here. No, Ashley Young definitely onside there. Well, Defoe offside there. It's a real chance missed for England, because Ashley Young was clearly onside from the through ball. He could have gone for goal himself. Band is in attendance, as you can hear. The support is absolutely phenomenal from England's perspective. Wayne Rooney dispossessed by Sibeli. Baines, brilliant. There is Rooney. That's lobbed up for Oxlade-Chamberlain and tucked home by Defoe, and this one will count. Jermaine Defoe's first goal of 2013 and his 18th for his country. Rooney with the chip ball up to Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's headed down to the goalkeeper out of the equation. Defoe is not going to miss from there. Goal and an assist for the 19-year-old Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And Jermaine Defoe makes it 3-0 with 10 minutes to half-time. I think Defoe's effort a couple of minutes ago probably should have stood. Sure that was offside. This one certainly does stand. Ashley Young. Baines. San Marino got that sinking feeling once again. Goes Defoe once more. That's good goalkeeping by Simoncini. It's only 6 seasons ago that Germany came here to this stadium and won 13-0. It's in a European Championship qualifier. Capacity at Wembley is 90,000. San Marino population is 33,000. So hardly a level playing field here. Question constantly raised about whether the likes of San Marino should pre-qualify. No sign of that happening anytime soon. Finding Baines. So Chamberlain was flying in with the header, didn't make contact. Cleverly back by Rooney. Lampard Going for goal. Oh, the keeper spilled it. Unconvincing, to say the least. Frank Lampard will really relish the opportunity to add to his international tally against such minnows. Lovely diagonal to Ashley Young. Past Gasparoni. Wants it on his right side. The pullback is disappointing. Vala will clear. Wide by Young to Baines. Doesn't have a lot of defending to do. Young, oh! What a sensational hit! That's as good as it gets. Ashley Young with an absolute belter. Well, Aldo Simoncini had no chance with this. My word, the velocity on that was formidable. Off the underside of the bar. His 7th international goal. That's a screamer from Ashley Young. Hit straight and true. With tremendous ferocity. What a strike. 4-0. Anything under 6 or 7 is going to be a huge disappointment now. It's the question of whether England can maintain this intensity after half-time with the job already done. A little more than a training session after the break. Opportunity here for England to do wonders for their goal difference ahead of the trip to Montenegro. Some of those players would like to get on in the second half and have a crack at this amateurish defence. And I say amateurish in the true meaning of the word. They're all part-timers apart from Palazzi. Some way for Ashley Young to score his first goal of the season. Cleverly. There is Young. Here comes Baines to the byline. Rooney leaves it. Lampard goes for goal and scores. Well, there's no way Frank Lampard was going to miss out on this party. The captain with the side foot finish into the bottom corner. Baines with the pullback. Rooney left it, and Lampard said thank you very much. His 28th goal for England, which moves him above David Platt, who of course scored 4 goals in a game against San Marino in the '94 World Cup qualifying campaign. Frank Lampard's now into the top 10 of England goal scorers. Level with the former Derby striker Steve Bloomer. His last cap was in 1907. Before half-time. similar scoreline that flatters England. Bolini dispossessed by Walker. Baines. What a menace he's been down the left flank. Cleverly. Here is Baines. Back to Ashley Young. A little back heel. The Baines didn't come off this time, but it's well read by Matteo Vidioli. No shock tonight. Paulo Mazza looking at another big defeat here. Lampard. Lovely ball. Jermaine Defoe. Rooney. Well, he made room for the shot, just stumbled as he hit it. England have scored 5 goals and he's not one of the goal scorers. Clearly Wayne Rooney felt he was fouled as he struck that effort at goal. With Daniel Sturridge and Danny Welbeck champing at the bit to get on in the second half. This really is as easy as it gets for England against the joint worst side in the world in the FIFA World Rankings. It's been a rampagingly one-sided first half here. England 5-0 to the good. The own goal from Della Valle inside 12 minutes. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Defoe, Young with a beauty, and captain Frank Lampard adding to the tally. It's job done. It's just a question now of how many. Half-time, San Marino 0, England 5.
You think technology is amazing? Well, if you want to see something really amazing, you need to check out live streaming at bet365.com. Bet365 is the world's biggest online sports betting company. And if you join now, you can watch over 20,000 live sports events a year. Now that's what I call amazing. Bet365.com, now based in Australia.
Until now, the traditional Aussie barbecue has not been the natural domain of the Irish. Some say putting an Irishman in the sun is like putting a fork in a microwave. Mix 1 part Drombeg Premium Irish Spirit, 1 part ginger ale and a good squeeze of lime in a tall glass full of ice. There you have it, a little bit of Ireland in the Australian summer. Drombeg Premium Irish Spirit.
Eredivisie this season on Setanta Sports. Over 100 games with 3 games every weekend, plus weekly highlights. Eredivisie this season on Setanta Sports. World Cup qualifiers continue on Setanta Sports this Wednesday with a European double. France versus Spain live, and Serbia versus Scotland. World Cup qualifiers this Wednesday on Setanta. World Cup qualifiers continue on Setanta Sports this Wednesday with 4 games from South America: Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, Argentina, Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador versus Paraguay. World Cup qualifiers this Wednesday on Setanta.
Well, I'm sure Roy Hodgson's thoughts have already turned towards Tuesday, and what will be a very different test in Podgorica. I'm sure he's being told about events in Moldova. Well, Montenegro are playing right now. One thing he won't want to see is any players getting injured. Chamberlain there getting a clattering from Bolini, but he's okay. No changes at the break, but plenty of England subs warming up at half-time. Sure, the likes of Stephen Taylor will be hoping to get on. Taylor looking to win his first cap. Newcastle United defender. Lampard. Oxlade-Chamberlain. What sort of scoreline can England rack up in this second half? It's 5-0 at Wembley, remember? 5-0 here at half-time. England have played a lot better here than they did at Wembley. Be the first time that San Marino have put more than 3 passes together. Still it up back at their own penalty area. Vidioli to Simoncini. That spell of possession didn't last too long from the men in blue. Lampard. Ball over the top for the foes, offside. Well, I would say that's another poor decision against the foe. So often just on the shoulder of the last defender. Inevitably, some of those decisions won't go the way you want. A touch for Joe Hart, hence the cheers from the England supporters. Sure, some people watching that first half will wonder whether this does anything for the credibility of international football. Such a horrendous mismatch. Cleverly. Rooney to Lampard. Tight situation, very well there. The England captain, Walker. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Rooney. Ball pinched off him. I wouldn't say the blue shirts are flooding forward, but briefly, Silva found himself in a good position. Now it's Ashley Young, who scored 1 from range already. Ball finds its way out to Leighton Baines. Now Rooney. Lampard. Cleverly. Rooney. absolutely desperate to get on the score sheet himself here. Baines, cleverly, great build-up. Rooney runs through to Young. England made the most of this, I'm not sure. Rooney again goes for goal. Good save by Simoncini. What a lovely effort that was from Rooney. Dipping viciously at the end. And it means there's a 14th England corner, taken short to Leighton Baines. What a poor second delivery that was from Ashley Young. Given away by Walker to Selva. He has found Palazzi, the two professional footballers in the San Marino ranks combining. Offside flag is up here. Well, that's interesting. They didn't manage a single offside in their last match against Montenegro. They've got one here. Didn't have a shot on target, a corner or an offside in that match in Montenegro. Selva. Bollini. Disqualification for England, by no means guaranteed. Dropped 4 points from their 4 games played. 1-1 at home to Ukraine, 1-1 away to Poland. Moldova and San Marino well and truly dispatched, as you'd expect. Which on Tuesday would be absolutely pivotal. That goes cleverly, poor challenge from Alex Gasparoni. Well, David Simoncini is the player closest to the referee. No arguments about the yellow card. This came flying in, Simoncini. Painful one, that, for Cleverley. Roy Hodgson just wondering when to make the first substitution. Expect around the hour mark. Well, after that foul by Simoncini, free kick to England. Rooney and Baines, both specialists from this type of position. Here's Rooney. Oh, fabulous. Well, you just knew that Wayne Rooney would get in on the act. And he marks his 80th cap with a goal. It's a 34th England goal, straight through an absolutely pitiful wall. Just got it over it and dipped past the goalkeeper. What a brilliant free kick that was from Wayne Rooney. 6-0. Just coming up to 10 minutes into the second half. He scored twice against San Marino at Wembley. Another one here. being given away cheaply by San Marino. They got away with that. Well, he's looking at an absolute tonking here. Gianpaolo Mazza. Here come some changes. Rooney's last touch was to belt that ball into the back of the net. Daniel Sturridge is on up front in his place. Sturridge looking for his first England goal. Wouldn't have thought he'd get a better chance. Leon Osman also on for England. His second cap. Although not necessarily a forward, despite that caption. Oxlade-Chamberlain. First contribution for Sturridge. Ball taken off his toes before he could get the shot away, but it's one straight back by Osman. He's had another blinding season at Everton. Sturridge, lovely play. Can't quite find his old Chelsea teammate Frank Lampard. And that's a free kick. Was Cleverley, by the way, who was substituted in midfield for Osman. Sibeli is back on after some treatment. Well, I said at the start of the game, 6-0 was probably par for the Three Lions. They've averaged 6 goals a game against San Marino. In the previous meetings, they hope to get more than that here. Quite easily coast through the game. Conserve their energy for Tuesday, but they'd have to work too hard to get more goals. Osman to Sturridge, the ball taken off him again. Bolini. And on the very few opportunities they've had to play a through ball, it's gone horribly wrong for Gianpaolo Mazza's side. The referee might have played advantage there, but instead it's a yellow card for Cevellini. I saw an interview before the game and he said playing opposite Wayne Rooney at Wembley, he just couldn't believe the things he could do with the football. What a great challenge. Baines with the header down, not able to pick out either Sturridge or Defoe. Rooney, of course, now rested ahead of Tuesday's game. Sir Alex Ferguson will be quite happy to see Rooney taken off. 35 minutes still to go here. Lampard. Oxlade-Chamberlain has got the cross in, and Sturridge, oh. Well, it looked harder to miss. Oxlade-Chamberlain looked up, saw Sturridge far post, but wasn't able to get this on target. Denied by the uprights. Should have been 7. Second time England have hit the woodwork. Oxlade-Chamberlain smashed the bar with a volley early on, you may remember. Oxlade-Chamberlain through to Defoe. He's gone for goal. Wrong side of the post. A third of this game still to go. England have averaged a goal every 10 minutes. You can't conceivably get to double figures. Great clearance by Joe Hart, but he doesn't have a save to make. Fabio Bellini is raising a smile from his manager. Oxlade-Chamberlain, been impressive tonight. Walker, here goes Sturridge. It's all very much gone according to plan for Roy Hodgson in England. Looking at a 9th win in his 14 games in charge. He's had to do his fair share of firefighting with the media, particularly over this Rio Ferdinand situation, which has been rumbling on for a while now. I don't think English media will be talking too much about Ferdinand tomorrow after this performance. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Walker, Lampard, lovely pinpoint pass to Leighton Baines, actually unstopped by Fabio Vetaioli. Scott. Oxlade-Chamberlain going for goal. Really should have hit the target from there. How easy is this? Trying a rather fancy finish with the outside of his boots. Just really had to hit the target. Baroni's down here, challenged by Osman. Little breather for the San Marino players. Silva. Could he get a corner here? Yes, he can. We have a San Marino corner. The first of the game. To be taken by Vitaioli. Clattered off Walker. He didn't know a lot about it. Joe Hart clutched the ball. Walker, buccaneering run. Chamberlain. Lampard was coming in on that. Well, it's another one that's fizzed over. This time from Osman. Third and final England change with Scott Parker replacing Lampard. Lampard, who scored on his last 4 England appearances now, after netting the winner against Brazil at Wembley. On target in the first half. And his old Chelsea teammate Scott Parker is on. 3 England changes made. The first change for San Marino will see Lorenzo Buscarini, number 15, coming on. By the way, that corner from San Marino is only their 3rd of the entire qualification campaign. Hence the surprise in my voice when they won it off Lescott. Job done for Frank Lampard. And coming off is Enrico Sibeli. San Marino. I'm sure that will make an awful lot of difference. Have to give great credit to England here, though. They've got a bit of stick after the match at Wembley earlier this season. This has been an excellent performance. Midway through the second half, 6 goals up against the joint worst side in the world, according to FIFA's own world rankings. England were as high as 3rd in the world under Roy Hodgson. Currently 4th. Osman. Now Baines. Sturridge. Walker. Baines. A rare misplaced pass from him in the first half. Unbelievable energy levels from Leighton Baines down that left side. Club and country, week in, week out. Only a 15th England cap at the age of 28 for Leighton Baines. Extremely unfortunate to have had Ashley Cole ahead of him in the pecking order for so many years. There's no reflection on him. Defoe. Ashley Young. Sturridge must score and does. His first England goal. England have a 7th with 20 minutes to go. Ashley Young, the provider, pinpoint curling cross. It was virtually impossible to miss. Seven goals, 7 different goal scorers. Again, England really didn't have to work terribly hard to get that goal. Just being patient, waiting for the right opportunity to get him behind. San Marino powerless to prevent another goal. Quality of the service. Oxlade-Chamberlain finding Walker. They're in again here, England. Took a last-ditch tackle to prevent Walker from getting the cross in. It's Buscarini who's just come on. 71 minutes played, Roy. 15th corner for England. Sturridge is allowed to bring that down. Baines has managed to steamroller his way through. Osman. Walker. Oxlade-Chamberlain has picked out Sturridge with a good pass. Osman. Baines with the ball in. The foe was lurking. Funnily enough, the last time England scored 7 in a game was that match away to San Marino in Bologna, almost 20 years ago now. This time they haven't conceded. Must be extremely pleased with this, Roy Hodgson. Nice touch for Scott Parker there. Sturridge back to Lescott, wearing the captain's armband since Lampard went off. Osman. The change looming for San Marino. Oxlade-Chamberlain. It was caught, having played the ball. Free kick in a dangerous area. Seen Rooney slam one home from about this position. Danilo Rinaldi is the man coming on here. He actually scored San Marino's last goal. Came in a friendly against Malta back in August. Andy Silva is withdrawn. Can't have touched the ball more than half a dozen times up front. Baines. The keeper made a bit of a mess of that, and he kept it out. Ball by Young. Well played by Vitaioli. It's hard to retain that discipline when you're 7-0 down. The opposition still have 15 minutes to get more goals. A long time since England managed 8 in a game. 1987 against Turkey. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Here's Baines. The freedom on the left side of the stadium tonight. Sturridge. Leon Osman. Here's Baines, just trying to nip that ball past Vitaioli. Possibly been the pick of the San Marino defenders. Parker. He's got it back from Baines. Sturridge. The ball out to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Just dinked up beautifully. Oh, it must be. It is. It's Defoe. He's got his second. England have their 8th. Another beautifully worked goal by England. Kyle Walker getting away down the right. Defoe tucks it away near post. No chance for Simoncini. Despair for Gianpaolo Mazza. Double figures now looks a distinct possibility for England. The way they've gone about scoring their goals tonight has been extremely impressive. No fancy flicks or tricks. No temptation to showboat in front of the minnows. Just pass the ball very quickly. And a very good rhythm from the word go. England fans taunting San Marino. Are you Scotland in disguise? Cheer as Joe Hart touches the ball. Lescott. Osman. Parker. Just coming up to the last 10 minutes in Saravala. Wide by Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's gone for the return here. Goalkeeper just gets there. Defoe, of course, on a hat-trick now. Width has been the key for England. down the left side, they've been unstoppable. Osman. Got the return from Parker. Might go for it here, Osman. He has. And I think Simoncini had that one covered. Final change for San Marino. Carlo Valentini replacing Fabio Bollini. What a time to come on when you're side at 8-0 down at home. .38th cap for Valentini. Here come England again with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Get to the byline, just couldn't quite get there in time. And 4 defenders trying to stop him. Wonderful talent, still a teenager. A player that's only going to get better and better. Already 10 caps for England. It's more than his dad, Mark, managed in his entire career. Scott Parker. Oxlade-Chamberlain. England barely in first gear here. So easy. Parker. Lescott. Nicely taken by Osman. Sturridge just trying to control the ball. Alexi got it away. England will come again. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Parker. Walker. Oxlade-Chamberlain is the runner here. Oh, and an unfortunate stumble, which allowed Buscarini to get back at him. Walker. Walker to the byline. Oh, well, Defoe so close to a hat-trick. Walker looked up and saw his Tottenham teammate, Jermaine Defoe, looking at a treble, and the glancing header is just wide. for Young. Parker not able to keep possession. Baines. Young had the chance to go for the colour himself, just tried to poke it through to Daniel Sturridge. Big night for Liverpool striker, getting off the mark for his country. First of many, he would hope. Still only 23. Young, great ball, Defoe! Oh! Once again, the chance for the hat-trick goes begging. What a through ball this was. I don't know if he was caught in two minds there, Jermaine Defoe. Was he thinking about a cross? Well, it was neither a cross nor a shot in the end. Now, I mentioned the last time England got 8 goals was 87. Last time they hit 9 was in their joint biggest World Cup qualifying victory against Luxembourg, 1982. They could equal that here. Just trying to rouse the players for a final push here. Given away by Parker. All smiles on the England bench. On a hiding to nothing really. Roy Hodgson in the media. He's only got a narrow victory against the likes of San Marino. It's never seen as good enough. I don't think anyone can argue about 8-0. And we're not done yet. Sturridge. Poor pass from Osman. San Marino actually have a free kick as Vitaioli goes down. Tuesday's game in Podgorica will be England's last competitive match the season. To have a couple of friendlies at the end of the campaign and home to Ireland and away to Brazil.
The fast part between the stadium of the land to really with all months of the Rosen ground. The fast part of the supporter
and goes Osman. Referee could have played advantage there. Just needed to wait a fraction of a second. We're in the 90th minute. Challenges from Sevillini. There'll have to be some stoppage time because of all the subs we've had in this second half. Another free kick here. It's a foul by Parker. Challenged out by Vitaioli to Palazzi. Well, the referee has decided there'll be no stoppage time. San Marino toothless, England ruthless. Their biggest victory since 1987, an 8-0 win, 2 goals for Jermaine Defoe. An own goal to kick things off from Alessandro Della Valle, then Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ashley Young with a beauty, Frank Lampard, Wayne Rooney with a free kick, and Daniel Sturridge getting his first for his country. It was comprehensive, it was one-sided, it was men against boys, really. England now go to Podgorica for a much tougher test against the group leaders, Montenegro. But all smiles for Roy Hodgson here in Serravalle. England absolutely dominant. And it's finished San Marino 0, England 8.
This program is brought to you by Bet365.com, the world's biggest online sports betting company.
Hello. I'd like to tell you about Bet365.com, the world's biggest online sports betting company. The reason why they're the world's #1 is very simple. They do great odds on a massive choice of sports. And guess what? Bet365.com is now based in Australia.
Until now, the traditional Aussie barbecue has not been the natural domain of the Irish. Some say putting an Irishman in the sun is like putting a fork in a microwave. Mix 1 part Drumbeg Premium Irish Spirit, 1 part ginger ale and a good squeeze of lime in a tall glass full of ice. There you have it, a little bit of Ireland in the Australian summer. Drumbeg, Premium Irish Spirit.
World Cup qualifiers continue on Setanta Sports this Wednesday with 4 games from South America: Chile, Uruguay, Bolivia, Argentina, Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador versus Paraguay. World Cup qualifiers this Wednesday on Setanta.
Sometimes in football, to score that all-important goal, you need a helping hand. This one came courtesy of Shay Given. To spare his blushes, we're only going to show it once. Yeah, right. Here it is again. And again. Sorry, Shay. This defies all logic and is from the Japanese league. It was always going to be risky signing a goalkeeper called No Can See. I love this one. This fellow was caught in 2 minds. Catch the ball or make a complete fool of himself. Guess which one he chose? Right, I'm facing a free kick. I've got to organise my wall. Check. Get into the correct position. Check. No, I definitely forgot something there. Oh yeah, keep hold of the ball. Blast. I've got 2 out of 3. Now all this keeper has to do is gently tip the ball over the bar and avoid, well, him for starters. This move starts with a lovely 1-2. The keeper was so impressed, he decided to do his own version of it. Not the best idea, perhaps. Now, we all know keepers can make mistakes when they're under pressure, but what's this fellow's excuse? Why am I in the reserves, he complained next week. Because the third team haven't got a game, said his manager. Back to the joys of the Sunday League, and here's a keeper who really knows how to use his head. Good job for him. Nobody was filming it. Here's England's former number one, Paul Robinson, handing in his P45 for the entire world to see. There doesn't seem to be any immediate danger. But then immediate danger is Robbo's middle name. Here's a moment of madness from Liverpool showman Bruce Grobbelaar. The thing with Brucey is you never knew what you were going to get. Except here, you knew you were going to get beat. That's telly pundit Mark Lawrenson there giving him a helping hand. I thought he never made a mistake in his playing career. This move starts with one of those hit and hope balls. And finishes with the keeper's own hit and hope. He hit it hoping the manager wasn't watching. Bet he was. This keeper got so bored with the goalless scoreline, he decided to do something about it. At least I think he did. Luckily for him, his missus wasn't too hot with the video camera. Here's a howler now from the Dutch League, where this keeper has had an answering machine installed in the penalty box. When the ball comes across, a voice says, "I'm sorry, there's nobody here at the moment." Hands-free telephone, of course. Ah, here he is again. This time, when a defender passes the ball back to him, it's just as he's finishing off a salsa lesson. There is, of course, a time and a place for dance, and this isn't it. This keeper's ability is obviously well known to the fans, which is why none of them bothered to turn up. This fellow apparently has been compared to Gordon Banks. But then in fairness, Gordon is well over 60 now. How about this for conceding an early goal? 10 seconds in, and you're one down. Still, you have to admire the cheek of the goalscorer. I've seen them miss from there, you know. Scott Carson now keeping goal for England.
Cranchar. Good shot from the Portsmouth man, straight through Scott Carson. A bitter blow for England and for the debutant goalkeeper.
Yes, two competitive caps for Scott on the same day, perhaps. His first and his last. This keeper's mistake causes a right old ding-dong in the box. Look out for the number 3 in blue as he throws a left hook that Ricky Hatton would be proud of. Now, there is a reason, you know, why goalkeepers don't play further up the pitch. And this is it. Like the dance, too. Blackburn's Brad Friedel shows us here why it's important to keep your eyes on the ball at all times. But just as important to keep your hands on the flipping thing as well. Here, the team in blue were asked afterwards to name their most dangerous opponent. 8 of them named their own goalkeeper. And you can see why. Christmas in Holland, the season of goodwill. Actually, it's August, but you wouldn't think so with this gift. For this clip, we can see what happens when a low-flying football meets a low IQ goalkeeper. Diary. Busy day today. First I saved a free kick, then watched as the ball came back into the box. Then I bumped into an old friend. Now an ex-old friend. Not a good day. Another example now of an England goalkeeper in trouble. Robert Green falling over at the worst possible time. But she had to feel for him. Him, I said, not each other. At first glance, it's hard to believe that this Steven Gerrard goal was scored with a header. But when you see it again from another angle, it's Bolton keeper Jussi Jyskalainen who provides the vital assist. A deft touch. Or should that be daft touch?